Hello everyone, Danny here today to talk to you about the book Trekonomics by an author whose name I am not going to attempt to pronounce. I do not want to risk insulting the author by mispronouncing his name, and I have no doubt but what I would mispronounce the name. This book is really not what I thought it was going to be. First off, let me state that I'm not a Trekkie. I'm not a massive science fiction fan. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek: The New Generation. And that's about it for science fiction for me. I like more fantasy, mystery books like that. I thought this book was going to be about Star Trek and modern economics. And parts of it are. But this book's about all kinds of subjects, some of which were thoroughly fascinating. It dealt a lot with, the Star Trek. I guess in Star Trek, there's no money. Didn't know that. There's no need. Everyone just uses a regenerator to get, and it's a long chapter on the regenerator and what the regenerator means. Everybody just uses the regenerator to get whatever in the world they want. So what the world would be like if there was no hunger, no want, no need. We all had regenerators to just, whatever we want, we program it. It's there. We don't even need to work for a living. You just go to the regenerator and get what you want, which I didn't know, but I guess that's how the Star Trek universe was. He goes into subjects on racism. I did learn some interesting things there. I did not know that Star Trek was the first televised TV show to break some color barriers. I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that. He goes into the Star Trek's anti-Vietnam bent. I didn't know that. Gene Roddenberry, I think is how the name is pronounced, the producer of Star Trek, had some very strong political views that he wanted to use Star Trek to preach. Some of them, like the racism, the fighting against racism, I agreed with. Some of them I could not disagree with more. If in the future I end up watching Star Trek, after listening to the book, I will be watching Star Trek with a bit of skepticism, going, okay, what exactly are they trying to cram down my throat now? Because I didn't realize this show was that stinking political. He talks about climate change. He talks about all sorts of things that, the author definitely hates capitalism and business. He is anti-capitalism. He is anti-business. He makes it very plain and very, very plain in one chapter that, in his opinion, all businessmen are blood-sucking vampires who would sacrifice their own children for a nickel. I could not disagree with the man more on that one. So there are some political bents to this book that I thoroughly disagreed with him on, could not more strongly disagree with the man on. And the sad part is, he doesn't, when he's talking about that in the book, he doesn't go through and present a cogent argument for his reason why. He just states that this is what it is and this is what it should be, and seems to expect everybody to agree with him. I would have preferred it if he would have tried to present a cogent argument. Okay, you are against capitalism, you're against business. Give me a cogent argument why, so that I have something that I can think about. Don't just tell me, you're against it, you hate them, they're all evil, all businessmen are monsters, and expect me to go, well, I guess if he said so, it must be true. Because that ain't going to happen. You got it. I'm a thinking guy. You got to give me something to think about, and it doesn't give me something to think about in those chapters. Those chapters I absolutely hated. So this was a book, there were parts I found very interesting, and there were parts I absolutely hated. And the ones that I hated, I didn't hate because I disagreed with his opinion. I hated because he didn't discuss his opinion. He just presented his opinion as if it was acceptable fact. Way back when everyone thought the world was flat. World's flat. Everyone knows it's flat. We don't have to prove it's flat. Everyone knows the world's flat. Well, everyone was wrong. And unless you can give an intelligent argument for your reason, a cogent discussion, I am not going to bother listening to you. I'm perfectly fine listening to you if you disagree with me and I disagree with you, as long as we're able to have a cogent adult discussion about it. A lot of those, I've got really good friends that we have strong differing views on stuff. And some of our best times together are when we are having a debate. And it's an open, adult conversation between two men who feel very strongly on their viewpoints, but have enough respect for the other person to not treat them like an idiot who just has to accept your viewpoint, rather to have an open, honest discussion with them. The narration was okay. There were definitely times when the narration kind of lost me. He speaks fast, and he sounds like he's giving a lecture. So there are times in the book when you almost feel like you should be sitting in a classroom, and the professor's gone, okay guys, there's 5 minutes left, so in 5 minutes I want to real quick get this down, and he starts talking really fast in order to get this across because I've only got 5 minutes and class is out. I didn't really like that part of it at all. It's not a book I recommend. It's not a book I'm keeping. I can't even say I'm happy I listened to it. I'm okay that I listened to it. The Regenerator chapter was fascinating. I learned some stuff about Star Trek that I never knew, but that's about it. Any questions, comments, or feedback, please send them in my direction. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you've read or listened to the book, let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me on my opinion of this book. Do it in a coherent adult fashion, please. And most of all, make sure that today you read or listen to at least one really good book. Thank you.